Hey everybody, how are you? It is Thursday, and I am sorry I am late this evening. I was just on a call with the congressman and the lieutenant governor and stuff, so I am late. Hopefully you still are tuning in tonight. Who's with me? Dana's with me. Jennifer's with me. While you guys all start checking in, I just realized I forgot my glasses. Hang on one second. Gotta get my glasses. Sorry about that, everybody. Who all is with us tonight? Thank you, Kitty. How are you? Hey, Zach, Michelle, Rick, Dana, Jennifer. Hey, Adele, Dennis, Sheila, Nevada, Stella, Dawn. Great talking to you today. Kirsten, Stephanie, Angie, Tracy, Jaya, Frank, Joanne in Arizona, Albuquerque's in the house. How is everybody on this Thursday? I kid you not that I thought it was Friday, I thought it was Thursday, I kept on going back and forth. I even have, I start this pad after we're done. Each night I start a pad with next day topics. And I had it as Thursday. Then I'm like, no, it's Friday. And then I'm like, no, it's Thursday. I have it multiple times crossed out. So that's sort of where my day's been today, and I think a lot of people have been there. Alexa got peanut butter cups today. That's awesome, Alexa. I am glad. I hope you're enjoying them, and I hope your Neil is enjoying them. Hey, Marcy. Hey, Diane. Julie Jankowitz, welcome to the house. Vicky from Atlanta's in the house. Michelle from Virginia's in the house. Hey, Marcia. It was great talking with you. It seems like a world ago that I talked to you. Oh, Angie got her peanut butter. Everybody's got peanut butter cups. You know what I got today? Hang on. I'm going to show you guys what I got today because this was really special. Hang on. I gotta show you guys this because I felt special today. I felt special today. So I got this box in the mail, and on it says for Neil. Okay, now I didn't write that out for Neil, although I'm gonna get accused of it in my house later that I wrote for Neil on it when people don't think I'm sharing. But inside, I mean, look at the presentation of this. Okay. I totally think Jennifer needs to open a bakery in her stores, okay, and have a little coffee and cookie side to her store where she sells that and offers that to her customers. I mean, who wraps cookies like this? And then you open it up, okay, and she made 2 different recipes, okay. She followed the DoubleTree recipe that we posted the other day, which these are the DoubleTree ones. And then she made her regular recipe, which is awesome by itself, okay? And they are truly wonderful. My mother-in-law was like, oh my God, these are phenomenal. But here. Oh, you got snow. But overall, a good day, Kristen. Yeah, we're supposed to get a little snow tomorrow night, I think. Tomorrow night into Saturday. They're teasing us with snow. So, Jennifer, truly awesome. Truly appreciate it. I have to admit I might add a little ice cream to it later, but I might warm one up and add a little ice cream to it or something if we have that. But we'll see how the day goes here tonight. So what are we grateful for this Thursday? So what are we all grateful for this Thursday? I got cookies, and the boxes I don't have to share, but I will because I'm that kind of guy. What are we all grateful for tonight? It's Thursday. It is Thursday. What are we grateful for? Nobody's 81 last week. It snowed today, Kitty. That is crazy. Vicky's thankful that her employees are getting their unemployment money. Sarah, you can keep the snow. No need to share. Michelle got her taxes to her CPA. That's awesome. Michelle is getting closer to reopening. Yes, we are one day closer, people, to the end of this. One day closer to the end of this. Kelly's mom volunteered in her shop. Kathleen in Alaska is joining us. Dawn's son made dinner. I don't see dinner from your son over on my counter, Dawn, but hey, I'll believe you. That's awesome. A friend from North Carolina called to check in on you, Julie. That is great. Your shoe storage room, Angie. We might have to have a talk about your shoe storage room. There are people on here that can tell you what I think of that. But we'll save that. Have you seen Karen's new shoe room in what state? She's in Canada. We'll just call it Canada. Or New Diggs's shoe room in Maryland. I have a thing with shoes. But don't ever take me shoe shopping. Cassandra will tell you that I'm a terrible shoe shopper. I'm like the Three Little Bears or whatever. This bed's too soft. This shoe is too hard. It takes a while till I find the right one. Yeah, closures are going to be an issue. A lot of governors are extending. Some aren't saying it. Oh, wow, Sarah, that's bad. America's hat, calling Canada America's hat. I'm not going there. But yes, governors are extending, and tonight is gin, the last of the gin. We're on alcohol rationing here in this house right now. The scotch is getting down there, and I just finished off this finishes off the bottle of gin. So we may have to venture out and stimulate the alcohol community this weekend if we don't get too much snow. So we've got a lot going on. So let us get going here because I know what y'all want to really talk about tonight because my phone's been blowing up with it all day, all day. So, let's flip to our Good Morning, Good Night book and see what we got in here that can inspire us tonight. I like this one. I like this Good Morning that I flipped to. Good morning. Get after what you want. Leave excuses on the side of the road. Don't you feel lighter? Okay, that is our good morning. I only wonder what our good evening will be. Lots to talk about today. Well, one major topic to talk about today, money. So in just general retail news, let's start with that. Analysts have been looking at major retailers and it's just interesting to follow what those retailers are doing in this environment. That most department stores have 5 to 8 months of liquidity. So your Kohl's, your Macy's, your JCPenney's, Dillard's, and the like have 5 to 8 months before a cash crunch becomes a risk factor. JCPenney is one of the cash richest of them all, which has about 8 months of available cash. Macy's has about 4.5 months. And Kohl's has about 5 months. Okay, and Nordstrom, they pegged at about 7 months, but are getting concerned because of Nordstrom's revised forecasts. You know, a lot of them are doing things to use this situation to renegotiate things or renegotiate debt payments or hold things down. So they have money, but they're choosing how they spend it. And that's going to get some bad press as we move forward. The businesses that are trying to take advantage of this situation. There are many, many of us in need. There are many stores in need, big and small, okay? I know I've had conversations with 50-store chains, okay, that are small 50-store chains. They don't have a lot of extra cash, but they were operating profitably before and are in desperate times right now. So there's a lot of that going on. So regardless of how big or small you think the company is, there's a lot of need out there. Nobody planned for this. And you know, we as businesses have done a lot. You know, we've done the right things and closed our stores so we can protect our employees, our customers, and our suppliers. And we need government out there to protect us. So I wanted to share, and I'm really going to start a thing I need to start as part of this and really highlight all the NARTS affiliate members, because the NARTS affiliate members are doing a tremendous job. I've talked about many of them during our broadcast. Many of you guys have talked about them and all the tremendous job they've been doing. And I'm going to add that to my to an upcoming broadcast where I take a segment of them and highlight them all, because we could not be in this without it. We are not alone running this store, and our affiliate members have been phenomenal at stepping up for you, creating websites, helping you use your systems better, helping you use pricing guides and other tools that will make you better and stronger when you reopen. But I was really inspired by something Traxia did for their employees. They did a food stimulus, and I just thought the title was good. I'm like, food stimulus? What do you do for a food stimulus? And they did a food stimulus to their employees where they sent their employees food from their favorite food place, okay, to all their employees, just as a fun way to say thank you, because they're all under stress. Yes, they're still employed, but they're under great stress as they work through and help and take the calls from all of you every day. And I just thought that was phenomenal, that and a nice little way to say thank you. So sending out gift cards to your employees to local restaurants, or sending them something to say thank you and that you're thinking of them at this time is hard, because we're all going through this, okay? Our employees are going through this in different ways than we are. They're coping. They're having to become school teachers and things that they didn't sign up for too. Yes, many are collecting unemployment, but there's issues with that. I just was on the line with the lieutenant governor and such, and the congressman and the head of unemployment, whoever, I forget their actual department that handles that for Massachusetts. But, everybody is feeling stressed no matter where your place is in this economy. Okay, but it's not a place for fear. It's not a place to roll up in a ball. That's the easy solution. We're going to get to the other side of this. We really are. I caught an interview today with Michael Jordan. And for those of you that don't know, he was a basketball player. Okay, he tried other sports too, but he's most known for basketball. And there's a big special coming out, documentary series coming out on him called The Last Dance, and his last dance, and highlighting his last year and his career and everything else. And one of his key things was, and just to show you two of his great things, two key. Well, I'm going to give you three. I'm going to give you 3 great points about Michael Jordan. Okay, nothing about him. One of his things was, if you want to get the best out of Michael Jordan, tell him he can't do something. So when I want to get the best, you're funny, Michelle. Chicago Bulls number 20, and Kitty correcting you very quickly there. I like that. Okay, if you want to get the best out of Michael Jordan, or MJ as some call him, tell him he can't do something, okay? If I want to get the best out of the resale community, if I want to get the best out of my team, quite honestly, you want to get the best out of me, tell me I can't do it, okay? It's going to happen. I'm going to figure out a way, okay? And another key philosophy of him is he had very hard-working parents. His father worked for GE, his mother worked for a bank, and then for Corning Glass. I mean, he had hard-working parents. And he was a hard-working person. And he always looked to turn a negative into a positive. Yes, this is a pandemic is bad. Having to close the whole economy is bad. But you're learning new traits. You're gaining new skills. You're going to turn this negative into a positive. And we're going to do that. And lastly, the last point from that interview that I took, okay, because everybody's like, Michael, this is all ego. They're doing this whole expose, Last Dance docuseries on him, and it's all his ego, and people are doing it because it's going to raise all this, it's going to give him all this money and everything else. He's donating all his proceeds, everything that he makes from that, okay, to charity. So he's always paying it forward. And that's what we all do. That is small business in this country, and that is where we rise, okay? We rise when others shy away from it. Hang on a second. Where's my... And remember my poster here that I think Vina sent me. Fear has two meanings. Forget everything and run, or face everything and rise. The choice is yours. So let's not forget that. So, let me just see if I had something else before I dive into what you all really want to hear about tonight. Jana, that's right where I was going. Yes, I expect more PPP money. So the short answer is yes. Okay, there is going to be more PPP money. Okay, what's going on behind me? I think Cassandra and her mother are making dinner. Or I hope that's what's going on, because after this is over, I'm kind of hungry. And if I eat all the cookies, that's probably not good for my waistline. What's happening right now is disgusting, okay? It is politics, plain and simple, okay? And there's fault to be placed on both sides, both on Republicans, Democrats, and it really doesn't care. We're Americans here, okay? And they're playing politics with Main Street. Absolutely, and I've been interviewed several times today. This is all about politics with Main Street. Okay, it has nothing to do with anything other than politics. Okay, and posturing, and it's sad. Okay, and I understand making you angry. Okay, yeah, it brings out the fighting spirit in us. Okay, and I'm so glad to hear that your PPP was approved today, Suki. But so many of you were somewhere in the process. And it's really the PPP that is out of money. But politics has taken over, and they're trying to say the SBA has no money at all, which is not true. But they're doing it for politics. The SBA even went as far as turning off all applications on their site. And if you go to their site and try to file an application, it says, notice, lapse in appropriation. I am tongue-tied now. I've only had a tiny bit. Lapse in appropriations. SBA is unable to accept new applications at this time for the Economic Injury Disaster Loan, EIDL, COVID-19 related assistance program, including EIDL advances, based on available appropriations funding. Applicants who have already submitted their applications will continue to be processed on a first-come, first-served basis. So what does that really mean? Okay? It means that none of the PPP funding is continuing right now unless you already have been approved. So anybody that's got an approval, like Suki had said she's got an approval, you're already in the SBA system, and that your share of that $350 billion is reserved. Okay? That was a limited appropriation. That's all they had for the PPP funding. And this isn't about big company or small company, or you heard this big company got it and you didn't. There's really no place. This is about all of us being in this together. That's awesome, Nikki. So it's about all of us in this together, okay, to get to the other side of it. So it doesn't do us any good to throw stones at Ruth Chris Steakhouse for getting a loan and you not getting a loan. We're all going to get through this. For many of you, this delay in the long run will benefit you, although the frustration doesn't. The extra paperwork doesn't. What I've been encouraging people, because several people have also been declined today because of missing paperwork or something wrong, especially with the online lenders such as PayPal, Square, Intuit, and Cabbage have kicked their applications back for one reason or another, and technically it's in a decline state while they wait for more information. I am encouraging you to get your ducks in a row because this will open back up again. Probably within the next week. Sarah, that's correct. If you haven't actually gotten an approval yet, sorry, I'm thirsty. If you haven't actually received an approval yet, okay, you are not part of the current $350 billion funding, okay? But this could benefit you. This delay could end out benefiting you, okay? Because, again, that 8 weeks starts when you get the funding. The 8 weeks to hit the numbers. And I've been working with a lot of you that, because of the news, took the money as soon as it was offered, okay? And now are like, oh crap, for lack of a better term. How do I make my numbers work? How do I make my head count work while I'm closed? Who do I pay? What do I pay so I can hit the ratios with this? That's been really hard for a lot of people and a lot of people's math, especially once you get beyond, 4 or 5 full-time equivalent employees. Hitting this number and being closed is hard and being beneficial to your employees because some of your employees in some areas are making more right now. So that's really hard on them. So we have to balance that, okay, in morale. You also don't want to have to bring people back on and be in an area like New York City, okay, bring people back on the payroll, take them off unemployment, and be in an area where you might be closed longer and then have to put them back on unemployment after the 8 weeks runs out. And so that is the issue there. So the other side of that is the SBA's actual EIDL loan, okay, the Economic Injury Disaster Loan, which the SBA is alluding that they're out of money on their website because they're not taking any more applications, but that is fear-mongering and posturing because they are funded directly by Treasury at this loan and not by Congress. So they closed it off to put more pressure on Congress to approve it and approve it without all the additional pork that Congress is trying to add on to it. Congress is trying to do some good things in this next bill. The problem is they're not just trying to deal with this one program. Yes, Kitty, you can count yourself as one of the FTEs. Longview, Texas, welcome to the program. So they're trying to posture with all these other programs. Congressmen all over the place are trying to add different things, add different conditions to the PPP. And that is problematic. So that's where the tie-up's happening versus just what they call in government circles a clean bill, which is, I want to add $250 billion, I want to add another $350 billion to the PPP. That would be a clean bill. Just boom, we're dealing with this one issue, approve it, pass it on. So they're posturing for a number of different reasons. They want to add other things. They want to add other businesses that would qualify for it. They want to take away businesses that would qualify it. They want to change the way they're going to vote on it. They want to add, just miscellaneous junk into this because they're spending so much money and people won't notice. There's a lot of it, and then there's the overly fiscal responsible people, which I'm all for fiscal responsibility. We know that I am for fiscal responsibility, but there's those people that are saying the government's just spending too much money and they need to stop. Well, we need governments, the whole economy. Every sector of this economy needs government assistance. And yes, there's going to be waste. Yes, there's going to be fraud in this. You can't spend that kind of money this quickly without having that happen. And yes, it should be dealt with, but deal with it after the fact, okay? Punish the people after the fact. The majority of American people, majority of American businesses are honest, good, hardworking people. And that is where it needs to be. Suzanne, congratulations on getting your idol today. So behind the scenes, behind the news headlines, the SBA is still processing idle apps. They are still funding idle, although they have stopped funding the advances, but they were all the advances through are already in process and sent to Treasury anyways to fund. So the majority of them through the first week of April anyways, if you had asked for the advance, that money's already in process anyways, in the process of being transferred from all the tracking that I have. So things are coming together. People are getting their idle offers. They are getting moving to closing. They are getting money. I've been tracking it all along. Every time I talk to somebody, one of the things I ask for is their idle application number. And I'm asking for that because I'm doing an informal tracking of idle applications and where they are in the process. So I've been tracking people when they've been getting their advance, if they ask for an advance, when they're getting their loan officer assigned, when it's getting sent to legal, when they're getting their closing. So it is all coming together. It is a process. We don't deal well with it, but they are happening, and Congress will come together on this. They will vote this. They are not going to let Main Street close, because if they don't authorize all this stuff, it's Main Street closing. The other thing that is being advocated for as part of the change in the next PPP bill is the calculation for businesses that are closed and the permissible uses for businesses that are closed. So one of the wording in the bill that's trying to be gotten in there, which would be a good thing for all of us that have stores that are closed, is, hang on, sip. That's how I take a breath, people. Is that it would allow businesses that are closed to not start their 8-week period until they're allowed to open, but use that money in the meantime for permissible uses. But they'd still have to hit the 8-week period after they open and use other funds for payroll at that time. So they're trying to get some good things into the next bill as well, and some revised rulings to clean things up. But, and I was asked by one reporter today, which was actually interesting. So, she's like, you're okay with this, but this is far from perfect. And one of the things I told her is that legislation is never perfect. I don't care how much time they take on it, it would not be perfect. It's certainly not going to be perfect with how fast everything is happening, okay? I've been talking to there's no way. Someone said to me, When we had fall conference, could you imagine that we'd be sitting around at fall conference last year saying, hey, in April, we're going to close all our stores for the month of April? Nobody would have said that. They would have been laughed out of the room. Everybody would have made bets with them, 1,000,000 to 1. There's no way anyone would have bet that we're dealing with what we're dealing with now. So when things are happening fast, there's a lot less perfection, and that's okay. Because Main Street needs fast. Main Street needs the stress level to come down and the panic. So don't get caught up in the fear, okay? Don't get caught up in the fear. Deal with what you can control, okay? I don't worry about things because I only worry about what I can control or what I can affect, okay? Do I worry about my employee who still hasn't gotten anything for unemployment? You bet you, but I can affect that by helping her out, okay? I can give her some cash now to help her out get through this time. I can talk with her and help her deal with the situation she's dealing with. I can help you deal with the situations you're dealing with of who to pay. Do I pay my landlord? Do I pay this? Do I pay that? Do you just hoard cash because we don't know where the end is? Okay, hoarding cash is like hoarding shoes or purses. It's okay right now. Hoard your cash. It's a precious resource, okay? And we don't know where the end is. But all of these programs will be properly funded. Congress will vote. The website will come back online if you haven't applied. and all these lenders. So have your paperwork ready. Anything that you're missing for the PPP, have that ready. Have that in place. Okay? Call your lender, because I've had several of you that applied to PayPal, and PayPal kicked it for one reason or another, or Square kicked it for one reason or another. And that's okay. Fix the reason so that when the programs open back up, you're ready to go. Okay? You're ahead of the curve versus the people that are sitting on the sidelines just crying that this isn't coming through. So be ready to take advantage of it when it does come back online. I certainly expect it far sooner than the worst case predictions of Congress. Congress is actually technically out of session till May 4th, but I expect this to be resolved before then. I really expect it next week, that they won't let this go beyond next week, because the pressure is honestly on them. The pressure in the news media is on them, and they do not want to be the one that puts Main Street out of business. So keep the positive attitude. Control what you can control. Don't worry about anything else, okay? Make sure that your family is fed, because that's the most important thing. No, Julie, do not apply more than one place, because that could really screw things up. So only apply to one place. Keep it with one place. Unless they've completely shut you out and said, we're not taking your application. So, for example, if you're banking with a bank and they said, we're not taking any applications and we're not going to reopen it, do not, that would be the only instance to apply someplace else. Tracy, yes, the guidance, Tracy's question is, she's been approved for the PPP, but bank says SBA requires them to fund in 10 days after approval. And it's really up to your bank, Tracy. I expect that you probably bank with a smaller bank, but the guidance says 10 days, but it's just guidance. They can do whatever they want. They are not required to fund it within 10 days. They are doing so because of pressure from the press and the media and Congress that nobody's getting any money. So it is a pressure thing. My bank's holding off right now. I'm expecting at some point they might pressure me to take it, but right now they are not. So, but feel free, Tracy, if you're going to have to take it in 10 days from today, email me. I'll give you a call. We'll talk about strategies for your situation and your individual payroll to make that work so that you can hit the thresholds that exist today, because you have to spend 75% of it on payroll and you have to get your FTEs to 75%. So it is a challenge, but it's not an insurmountable challenge depending on how your individual numbers work. And so I've been literally all day, that's what I've been doing. And happy to do it. Just email me, Neil, Neil, at ECIstores.com, and I will get back to you. Email works a lot better than Facebook because the Facebook messages I tend to lose track of because I get so many people on that, whereas emails, I print them right out and I put them in my stack and I have them right there with me. What other questions am I missing? No, the idle's not getting capped at 15. Those are some false reports on that. They are funding your idle at proper levels. Happy to look at your numbers, Karen. So things are moving, and Suzanne, you got the idle advance. So that's what you got, was the idle advance, not your full idle, but your idle is in process because you got the advance. So that is great that you got the idle advance, which is an advance on the PPP if you take the PPP. But if you don't end up getting the PPP because you're closed out of it, or because it doesn't work in your situation, the amount you got today is a grant. So that is a good thing. And it's good that you're getting money. People are getting money. Money is coming through. The approvals are coming through. It's just taken a little bit of patience. And I know that's not easy. I know the stress level. I feel it with everyone. And it really does not matter size of business. The stress is real, but remember, focus on what we can control. And ultimately, Focus on your goals for your business. Focus on how the things you're doing today will help get your business better when we reopen. Because we will reopen. We will reopen Main Street. We will reopen your store. So focus on how you're going to make your business better when you reopen. How are you going to run better? How are you going to run leaner? How are you going to operate more efficiently when you reopen? How is your store different when you reopen because of this experience? And how are you going to serve your customers? How are you going to serve your customers with distancing? Okay, the president laid out his plan today, his outline that he gave to the states' governors to address, and we can talk about that more in coming days. The bankers are getting updates. I mean, Marianne, they literally had 4 updates in 2.5 days to the rules to the banks. It's hard. It's hard on these bankers. So, but it's important that you follow the rules that exist as they exist. But we're going to get to the other side. So think of how you're going to be better. Think of how you're going to operate better. And I'm sorry, Kelly, for keeping you on the treadmill too long. But remember that I take your questions here every night live in NART's private Facebook page for NART's members. You can email me anytime at neil@ecistores.com. That is NEIL @ECIstores.com. I answer your questions. I call everybody back. That anybody that has a question. Karen. I haven't heard that Illinois is ready for self-employed yet, Karen, but I will check on that tomorrow. I will check on that. And Michelle, that's actually good advice. I mean, I don't want to put myself on any pedestal with that. I don't want to be the same as the governor, but I appreciate it. I spend all day. Oh, Marianne, I love you. I spend all day making sure that we have the most accurate information and not the hype, not the fear. This is not about fear. Remember, we read our Good Morning, Good Night book every night. For those of you that were late to the party, our good morning today was, good morning. Get after what you want. Yes, you get after what you want. Leave excuses on the side of the road. Don't you feel lighter? Our good night tonight is, we're closer than where we started. Nothing but open road ahead. Let's go. And I love this. It says, unknown conditions ahead. Unknown conditions ahead. I love that, okay? Because they are unknown. But we're going to get through this. We are totally getting through this. We're all getting through it together. Because you, and you, and you, and especially you, are not alone running this store. I'm Neil Abramson. I'll be back here again tomorrow night at 8 o'clock Eastern answering your questions. And I am here for you each night at 8. I am answering your questions via email and calling you. So if you email me, make sure you include your phone number. Please include your phone number so I can call you. If you get a call from a FaceTime from a 508 number, you're only going to get a FaceTime when I'm having a good hair day. But when you get a FaceTime or a call from a 508 number, take it. That means I am calling you. And I am there to answer your questions directly and happy to do so. Do not hesitate to reach out. I am calling everybody. I promise you. I am behind, but I am calling everybody. You are not alone running this store. The website, narts.org/resalestrong, will give you all the resources and share it with your friends regardless of what business they're in. Because the resale industry is going to get every business to the other side of this. Every business is going to the other side. Okay, we're leaving no business owner behind. Zero. Nada. None. We're going to carry them all to the other side by giving them the right information, the most up-to-date, and helping everyone. That is what we are here for. That is what we do. We are Resale Strong. I'll see you tomorrow, everybody. Have a great night. It's time for dinner.